yet another show before, after the fact. And so this is just like a little extra thing. And you guys both came across Pinback by accident, really. So that made me wonder, Ryan, have you ever stumbled on any other bands like similarly like you did with Pinback, where it was just kind of an accident?
Yeah, there's been a few bands. One that comes to mind right off the bat. They're somewhat newer. They're called There.
Oh,
Each iteration of that is spelled differently. Their
dig it.
apostrophe Re, if that makes sense.
Yeah, dig it.
I found myself just diving through different band members and the bands that they played in, and I stumbled across them. They're from, I think, the Midwest. And I find myself always doing that, where I see this guy played in that band. I want to hear what his band sounded like before then, after then, and that's been a way I've used to try and find new bands when I feel like my music taste is getting a little stale.
So how did you find There? Like you said, you branched off and started listening to what those bands were into. You just kind of randomly you liked the name or of the band and were like, I'm going to listen to this.
Yeah, so I saw the drummer is in a band, or started a band in the '90s called American Football.
Ah,
His brothers are in a couple other bands in kind of that Midwest, I guess, emo scene. And I saw the band name and I said, that's a
clever.
cool band name.
Yeah, that's
I need
clever.
to listen to them. And they only have a short EP and a single. So they only have about 6, 7 songs, but I think all of them are great.
I dig it. That's some awesome stumbling. But again, Peter, you stumbled on Pinback as well. I gotta assume you've stumbled on some other bands on accident.
Yeah, one that comes to mind, I think it was through YouTube recommendations where I was just watching, some other videos, and then it was like, if you like this, you might like this. And this band called Violent Soho came up,
Yes.
and I listened. The first song I heard was "Jesus Was My Girlfriend,"
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of like a mix between Nirvana, Weezer, and the Pixies, and it just kind of scratches that itch for me.
Yes,
Are they an Australian band?
they sure are.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of them too. Yeah.
God bless. I love Soho. Like, so my story with Soho, since you brought up Soho, is I had a friend at work. He just randomly had that record. And I don't know what it was about them that he thought I would like them. I mean, he was right. But he goes, "Hey man, you might like this," and hands me that same record, and I put it in, and I was like, I came back from my delivery, I was like, dude, what the hell have you done to me? And I burned the record, and like I listened to it like for months after the first time I heard it. Like it did not come out of my player. Like you said, it scratches that itch. It's like it feels very 90s, and it's like this is fun. And there's like songs like Muscle Junkie, and you mentioned Jesus Stole My Girlfriend. This is great. And it just has all these great guitar sounds. And man, Violent Soho, I didn't see that one coming at all. Which,
How are these guys not like really popular right now?
dude,
Like that boggles my mind.
I don't know. Like I honestly, because the new record they just came out with, a new one, is insanely good. It is insane. Like they don't have a bad record, but that it's not even their first release. Technically, they had one before it, but they're kind of the same record. But so there's that first one, and then they have, I think, two in between, and then they came out with one. Was it late last year, or was it earlier this year? I
I think it was earlier this year, but it's hard to tell with time.
right. But either way, like I listened to it and I was like, Peter, did you have you seen this yet? And you listen to it, you're like, oh shit. So, look, if nothing else, maybe we've turned you on to Violent Soho today. How about that? I'm not gonna follow that up. How about that? Like, cause I stumbled on Violent Soho too, so I like it. Check it out. Here, this is about two things. Number one, patreon.com/oh hi Justin. I would love for you to pledge to the Patreon. It's only $1 a month. Dig it. Also, It's about Deprogrammed. We just talked about Pinback on Deprogrammed, so you can get that episode soon. It'll be out next Thursday. So check that out. You can find Deprogrammed on all the podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find podcasts. Check it out, subscribe, rate, comment, do all that stuff. Because I never do that stuff. So now I'm asking you to do that stuff so I can start doing that stuff. I don't know. I'm just rambling on.
Do it.
Do it.